Okay. So we've been talking about respiration, excretion, and we've introduced the course. I have laid some background on respiration, and then I also explained a lot of things on excretion. Meanwhile, respiration, I begin to talk about aerobic and anaerobic. I gave you some, expression why this is this, why that is that, and the result of each of the type of respiration. And then I go ahead to explain excretion, and then I told you what happened even between plant and animal. You understand how plant excrete, the kind of food that they give out. I mentioned about the interaction between, man and plants when he's found in a rural area. That is to say, a place where we have a lot of plants. Are you getting it? The man tend to get more saturated and fresher, oxygen, compared to when he's been exposed in, an urban area where there is a lot of, industries, a lot of fuels that are being burned out every day and all that. So that is what we've done so far. We've answered the first set of questions, past question, where we talked about, a product obtained from analyzing sweat from skin. I said that the answer is dust. The second one, I told you that the answer is B because glomerular is never a part of what uniferous tubule. So this option B is what is wrong. I went to number 5, where we asked the question. We said, which of the following is not an excretory organ in animals? I told you that the following is not an excretory organ is what is leaf. Leaf is not an excretory organ in what animals. Lungs is an excretory organ where it's responsible for giving out gases. Kidney is what an excretory organ. Are you getting it? Large intestine is what an excretory organ. Skin is an excretory organ. But leaf is never what an excretory organ in animal, to be precise. Now, the next question we looked at, which of the following is not an excretory product? These are where we were having a little bit of challenge, where Aliyu and Elizabeth were kind of surprised and all that. So, but the answer still remains physics. I told you that the answer is physics because of the what excretory organ. A product is termed an excretory product when we have what an excretory organ. So if the product doesn't comes out through the excretory organ, that product is not what an excretory product. I hope you see my screen, Elizabeth. So we'll go to the next question. And the next question, it says, yeah, since the conversion of excess amino acid into urea occurs in the kidney, the pancreas, the villi, the liver, or the spleen. Welcome, Aliyu. Is it the kidney, the pancreas, the villi, or the liver? Now, I will say something. When we're talking about the kidney, the pancreas, the villi, and the liver, even the spleen. Now, I told you that villi increases the surface area. Another function, one major function of the villi is that it increases the surface area. You understand? In the what? In the intestine, especially in the small intestine. You understand? Small intestine. So the presence of villi there increases the surface area of the what? Small intestine. Now, we're talking about a pancreas. Pancreas is majorly more like a gland. I don't know if you've heard of pancreatic gland. You understand? What it helps is in the production of what? Insulin. Insulin is the hormone. You understand? That helps to regulate what? Sugar in the what? In the body. Meanwhile, spleen act as what? Filter for what? Our blood. That's what spleen acts as. You understand? It acts as what? Filter for our what? Our blood. And then liver is an organ that helps in what? Detoxification of what? Of foreign chemicals. That is what we call xenobiotics. Xenobiotics is spelled Xenobiotics. That's xenobiotics. When we're talking about xenobiotics simply means, foreign chemicals, foreign substances, that enters into the body. You understand? It can be through the oral route or, any other route, but it enters into the body. Are you getting it? And it's present in the environment. Example is the drug. You understand? The chemicals. They are all xenobiotics, foreign chemicals. Are you getting it? So what liver does is liver detoxifies. It detoxifies those what? Those chemicals. Another function of the liver is in the conversion of what? This excess amino acids into urea. Now remember, when you hear about amino acids, I want you something to come to your mind. That's what we call protein. When you eat a beans, you derive protein from it. That's the major nutrients you get from beans that you eat. Remember that protein is not the only nutrient present in beans. Carbohydrate is also present in beans. When you eat beans, you get carbohydrate from beans. I know this is funny. You're hearing this for the first time. So when you eat beans, you get carbohydrate. When you eat beans, you get protein. Are you getting it? So you don't just, there is no particular food that contains only one nutrient. It's never possible. They contain vast nutrients. So, but why we say that rice gives us carbohydrates is because there is excess of carbohydrate present in what? In rice. Excess of glucose that is derived from what? From the rice. So when we eat beans too, beans contains what? A larger amount of what? Of protein in it. So that's by the way. Now, liver, what it does is that it converts what? Excess amino acid into what? Into urea. So I was saying something. When you hear about protein, protein is a nutrient, and I mentioned before that protein is also what? A biomolecules. And when we're looking at the biomolecules, we're looking at biological molecules, complex what? Molecules. Protein is one of them. Now, when protein is breaking down, when you break down protein, you get what? Amino acids. Are you getting it? You get what? An amino acid. Now, after eating beans, are you getting it? Remember that the digestive part, the end part of that protein is what? Is what? Amino acid. That's what the body uses. Just like when you eat carbohydrates, the end point of or end product of carbohydrate is what? Is glucose. And glucose is a what? Is a 6-carbon sugar. Now we're talking about amino acid. Amino acid contains, the C terminal and the what? N terminal. You understand? We have basic amino acid, we have acidic amino acid, we have more like an aromatic amino acid where we're looking at the lysine, the histidine, the phenylalanine. Are you getting it? We have the basic, we have acidic. We also have the amino acid that contains the aliphatic side chains. That's how they are grouped. So that is, by the way, are you getting it? So what the liver does is that it converts this excess amino acids into what? Into urea. Because when the amino acid is excess in the body, it forms like the body doesn't need it anymore. So more like we convert it to what? To urea, so that the body can do what? Excrete it. Are you getting it? So that is, by the way, more like when you have an excess glucose in the body, stored in the liver muscle as what? As glycogen. I don't know if you've wondered why individuals has what? A broad muscle, a big chest, a broad chest, and then big muscles. This is as a result of what? As remember that I asked you a question when we're talking about an athlete having a huge muscle. Is it a transfer threat or an acquired threat? The answer is what? Acquired, because that kind of individual, goes to the gym, carrying weights every day and all that. So when we are looking at that particular individual having broad chest, remember that it's a result of what? The person has a lot of what? Energy at that particular point. You understand? So when you eat a lot of carbohydrate, it stores in your what? In your liver muscle as glycogen. You understand? It stores in your liver muscle as glycogen. So when you've not eaten rice for complete 2 days, when you've not eaten anything, like as I am now, if I've not eaten, let's say I prepare a particular, maybe a pot of rice, and I finishes it before the next 6 hours, I will not be hungry again, maybe till the next day. You know why? Because I've consumed a lot of carbohydrates, and the body have used the one it wants to use. The excess will not be stored in the liver muscle. So when the body is, let's say short of glucose or short of energy, those glycogen stored in the body will now start coming out again as glucose, and my body will start using them. So when you've not eaten for a long time, you'll be wondering, how am I surviving? How am I able to think? How am I able to walk? It's a result of the what? Excess sugar stored in your liver muscle. It has what? Start coming back to what? To glucose, so that your body can what? Use it anymore. So that can continue to use. Now, when the glucose is being used up, like the glycogen is being used up, your body starts using what? The ketone bodies. That's why when you see someone who have fasted for complete 7 days or 6 days, when you go close to them, when they say what to you, their mouth smells. You understand? You see something like a rotten smell that comes out from their mouth, even though they've brushed their teeth. So it simply means that the body is using ketone bodies, and ketone body is more like it smells, it contains more of ammonia. You understand? It smells more like ammonia. If you've done practicals in your secondary school, you begin to see that when you expose ammonia to the atmosphere, like in the lab, you cover everywhere be smelling, urine, like everywhere, you have the whole place, filled up with the smell of urine and all that. So that is, by the way, how the body uses both the glucose, glycogen, and the ketone body. So when the body uses up that ketone body, that's when you see that someone have died. The person was fasting for 21 days and they died. The person was fasting for 2 days or 10 days and they died. So remember that this is actually what different individuals. And another thing, apart from the biological explanation, remember we have spiritual concepts which I'm not here to explain. Whereby we can have individual fast for more than 30 days and still survive, like Jesus did, 40 days and 40 nights, and he survived, not because he had eaten or he has stored a lot of glycogen that survived him. That was spiritism, that's spiritual. You understand? So that's by the way. Now the next question is, which one of the following? Okay, Ali will say I'm fast, so let me slow down. The next question. Okay, I hope you follow me, right? The next question is, which one of the following parts of the mammalian body is most closely associated with the production of urine? Is it urinary bladder? Is it ureter? Is it vas deferens? Is it urethra? Now, let me give you some of the functions I've written down in my book. Maybe you can jot it down somewhere. Now, when you hear about vas deferens, which is the option D, you can write down if you have a book. Vas deferens transports mature sperm to the urethra. Urethra, when I'm talking about urethra, I'm talking about THRE, URE, THRE. You understand? Vas deferens transports mature sperm to the urethra in preparation of what? Ejaculation. You understand? In preparation of what? Ejaculation. Meanwhile, when we're talking about urinary bladder relax and expand to store urine. You understand? They stores what? Urine. More like their function is what? Storage of what? Of urine, urinary bladder. That's why someone will be telling you that when you want to urinate, when you're feeling the urge to urinate, you should not say, okay, let me leave it the next 2 days. You understand? So yeah, the more you try to, store urine, the more your bladder is getting weak. Are you getting it? And when your bladder gets weak, you begin to see when you're urinating, for the guys, you understand? When you're trying to urinate, as you're seeing in your penis and all that, you begin to see, some places leaking out and all that. So these are as a result of, an oversized bladder, a bladder exceeded its elastic limit and all that. So that is it. So don't try to, even the lady too, Elizabeth, I know you're a lady. So don't try to, when you are feeling the urge to urinate, you say, oh, let me leave it for the next 2 days. Let me leave it for the next 4 days. You're actually killing your bladder, and that's so bad. Are you getting it? So that is it. Now, I've explained the vas deferens. I've explained the urinary bladder. And now, I will tell you that the answer is actually Mafigian capsule. You understand? I don't know if you've actually been studying biology. You will begin to see that. Okay, someone asked a question. Who is that? He said, I'm a lady also. Oh, Ali. Honestly, I don't know. I'm so sorry. I think you told me this in the last class today, a lady, and I almost forget. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. It's not easy actually. The name sounds like that of a male. I've not been to the north before, but all the same, yeah, I don't know the one that's for male and female. So apologies. So that is by the way. Now, remember when you begin to look at insects, when you see in a question, they ask you, what's the excretory organ of an insect? The excretory organ of an insect is Mafian tubu. This kind of Mafigia. Then you add tubu. That's the excretory organ of an insect. You understand? So which of the following parts of the mammalian body is most closely associated with the production of urine? Is the what? Mafian capsule, Mafian capsule. You understand? It's closer to the Bowman's what? Capsule. Are you getting it? So that is it. Now the next question. Question 7. Not question 7, in my slide 7. It said during the excretion of urea, there is a corresponding, during the excretion of urea, there's also a corresponding reabsorption of water into the blood. The reabsorption takes place in the uriniferous tubu. You should know that the answer is uriniferous tubu because I've already explained what a uriniferous tubu is here. You understand? It transfers urine from the renal pelvis after collecting it from the what? From the nephron. You should know that the answer is uriniferous tubus, not Bowman's capsule, not glomerulus, not Mafian capsule, and not renal artery. So the next question, which of the following is not a function of the liver? So I've explained the liver acts as a detoxifying agent. The liver detoxifies chemical substance, foreign chemical substance. The liver stores iron. The liver regulates blood sugar through the process of gluconeogenesis. Write it down. The liver regulates blood sugar through the process of gluconeogenesis, glucogenolysis, glucogenolysis. Are you getting it? Gluconeogenesis and what? Glucogenolysis. Now, when we're talking about gluconeogenesis, we're looking at, how, the liver try to, store that. Remember, I mentioned glucose and I mentioned what? Glycogen. You understand? Glycogen is actually, excess carbohydrate that is stored in the what? In the liver muscle. So how does the body regulate blood sugar? So when that sugar is, how does the liver regulate blood sugar? So when that sugar is excess and is stored in the glycogen, are you getting it? That particular process is what we call gluconeogenesis. Gluconeogenesis. And when we're talking about gluconeogenesis, it simply means the ability of the body to break down that glycogen that is stored in the liver muscle so that the body can start what? Using it. I don't know if you get what I said. So that is it. Now, so the liver regulates blood sugar, it stores iron, it forms bile. You understand? This helps in the detoxifying effect. Now, it breaks down excess of what? Amino acid. That's the first question that we answered. Now, the liver does not excrete urea from the blood. It never does that. You understand? So that is it. Please, I hope you're following. Now, the next question. The functional unit of mammalian kidney is, the answer is nephron. The answer is not urethra. Urethra is not functional unit in the mammalian kidney, not Mafian capsule, not glomerulus, and not what? Urethra. So the answer is what? Nephron. Now, nephron consists of, I prepared a note here. Nephron consists of renal corpuscle. Nephron consists of renal corpuscle. Corpuscle, C-O-R-P-U-S-C-L-E. Renal corpuscle. And that renal corpuscle, as I mentioned before, we have the Bowman's capsule and the glomerulus. Are you getting it? Renal corpuscle, proximal tubule, loop of Henle, and distal tubule. I said that the nephron consists of renal corpuscle, and the renal corpuscle, it contains two, the glomerulus and the Bowman's capsule. So now the nephron consists of the renal corpuscle, proximal tubule, loop of Henle, and what? Distal tubule. So the answer is what? Nephron. Now, if the gallbladder of a man is removed by surgery, which of the following processes would be most seriously affected? What's the function of a gallbladder? Now, a gallbladder stores and concentrates bile from the liver. A gallbladder helps in the storage of bile. What's the question? I can't see the question. Oh, I'm so sorry. Why is it that you guys are not seeing this question? You see, I love the way that we communicate here. If you're not getting it, you ask a question. Okay, can you see it now? Can you see it now? Yes. Okay. Let's continue. So we've actually answered this particular one. We've answered this particular one during the excretion of the reabsorption takes place in this. It's not the function of the liver. We've answered this one. So, and the function of mammalian kidney, the functional unit of mammalian kidney, I told you is the nephron. I've answered it. Now, we want to look at the gallbladder is removed. I say, what's the function of gallbladder? We say that it helps in the storage of what? Bile, and concentrate also bile in the what? From the liver. So, main function is storage of bile. That's gallbladder. So, if the gallbladder of a man is removed by surgery, which of the following processes will mostly be affected? Is it digestion of fat and oil, formation of urea, digestion of starch, conversion of protein, storage and release of urine? What do you think is the answer? So the answer is A, digestion of fat and oil. Remember, I told you that the liver functions as what? Emulsification of fat. Emulsification. And it does that through the help of what? The bile. You understand? And the bile is stored in the what? In the gallbladder. So when you remove the gallbladder, that means you're actually making the bile to be what? Less effective. And when it's less effective, it cannot digest fat and what? And oil. That means emulsification will not what? Take place. You understand? That's the major thing that will be affected when the gallbladder is removed through surgery. I'm loving this. I hope you're following. You are seeing the joy I'm using to discuss. Our time is up, but I want us to do one or two before we go. So now the next question. I hope you can see my screen, right? The next question is the kidney of all vertebrates act as osmoregulators. The kidney of all vertebrates act as osmoregulators. Now, this means that means they're asking us, what is osmoregulator? Now, when we're talking about osmoregulation, remember there's two words there, osmo, regulate. That means the ability of the body to regulate the what? Osmotic concentration, osmotic processes of the what? Of the what? An organism. Are you getting it? So now, the kidney of all vertebrates act as osmoregulators. This means that keep the composition of the plasma content, no. Regulate osmotic processes, yes. You understand? C is not the answer. It doesn't control, like, no, not the C, not the D, and not the E. I hope you're following. So now the next question. The next question says, a carbohydrate molecule in the blood in the right ventricle of the heart is pumped into the cell toe of a man. Which of these structure is it unlikely to pass through? En route, we are looking at process, a pathway, that's en route, anyhow you pronounce it. You understand? So your English teacher will do it better. En route, en route, and all that. So that's what I'm here to do. I had to study biology. So now the question says a carbohydrate molecule in the blood, in the right ventricle. Remember, we have the right ventricle, we have the left ventricle, we have the right auricle, and we have the what? Left auricle. These are 4 chambers of the heart. I hope you know that. So that's by the way. Now, which of these structure is unlikely to pass through en route? Is it aorta? Aorta is present in the heart. Is it liver? Is it pulmonary artery? They help in circulation. Lungs, they help in circulation. Heart, the osmotic pressure of the blood, they help in circulation. So the answer is what? Liver. Liver doesn't act as what? A circulatory organ. Liver acts as what? An excretory organ. So the unlikely structure or the unlikely place by which this carbohydrate molecule in the blood will pass through is what? The liver. Because the liver is for what? Excretion, not what? Circulation. So, okay, the part of the cell, let's finish the question before we go. The part of the cell solely responsible for respiration is the part of the cell. Okay, I will not answer this one. We've already answered it. I want Ali and Elizabeth to answer. We've already done this thing when we started. So let me know if you guys are actually following or not. All this yes sir, you guys are typing. So let me know if you are following or not. So give me the answer. The part of the cell, I hope you can see my screen. Yes, I believe so. So the part of the cell is only responsible for respiration is it nucleus? Is it nucleolus? Is it mitochondria? Is it Golgi apparatus? Is it endoplasmic reticulum? Which one? I'm waiting for Elizabeth and Aleyo. I'm waiting for you all. So what is the answer? I'm waiting for you people. So give me the answer. I'm waiting. Oh, Ali and Elizabeth. People don't want to answer my question. I'm not happy now. I'm actually not happy because you guys are not answering my question. My mood is changing automatically. My mood is changing. And that's not good. Elizabeth and Aliyu, what do you guys think? You don't need to get it right or wrong. Just say, let me know. Just show me that you're following. Our time is going. Should we stop here? I want to finish the past questions, but okay, Elizabeth and Ali, you don't know it. I'll take that as a no. Okay, let me continue so that we can save time. Okay, the part of the cell responsible for respiration is not the nucleus because nucleus controls the genetic material. It controls the whole activity of the cell. You understand? Nucleolus is not responsible for respiration. You understand? So we have mitochondria. Mitochondria is responsible for respiration because it's the cell house, it's the powerhouse of the cell. You understand? It generates ATP. Golgi apparatus and endoplasmic reticulum are not the answer. So the answer is what? Mitochondria. So in anaerobic respiration, glucose is converted to one of the following: carbon dioxide and water, carbon dioxide only, carbon dioxide and alcohol, alcohol and water, water and acetic acid. So I will not answer this. I will take us back to the place I gave my introduction in respiration. We say in anaerobic. So let's go to anaerobic and look at, what happened there. Let's go to anaerobic. So look at anaerobic. In anaerobic, right? we have ethanol, carbon 4 oxide and energy. So let's look at where we have ethanol, carbon 4 oxide and energy. So we have, do we have ethanol, carbon 4 oxide and energy here? We only have two products. Carbon 4 oxide and water, no. Carbon 4 oxide only, no. Carbon 4 oxide and alcohol, and the alcohol here is what? Ethanol. So let's go with the C. C is the answer. You understand? Not alcohol and water, not water and acetic acid. So the answer is carbon 4 oxide and what? And alcohol. You understand? And they didn't add our energy. So that is it. So now let's go to the next question. What is the name of the organ of the crab? What is the name of the organ of the crab? Is it tubus? Is it trachea? Is it the spiracles? Is it the lungs? Is it the gills? So from the notes I prepared here, the name of that is what? The branchiostiger what? Lungs. You understand? The branchiostiger lungs. I don't know if you're getting it. So, but in some cases, I don't know if these two persons are following. I don't know. Can you guys indicate so that I know that I'm not wasting my time? If you're following, you say I'm following. I don't know. What's the issue? Is it that you can't hear me? Okay, you're following. Let me know now so that we can continue. So I said, what's the name of the respiratory organ of the crab? I say, is it tubu? Is it trachea? Is it lungs? Is it gills? You understand? I said that the answer is not lungs. The answer is not gills. The answer is not spiracles. You understand? But remember that crab is what? An arthropod, right? Crab is what? An arthropod. So what's there? The answer there is what? It's a bronchostiger tubu. That's what they use in their respiratory organ. That's what we call bronchostiger. Bronchostiger was tubu. So here we can give the answer as what? A. Not gills, not lungs, not spiracles, not trachea, but what? Bronchostiger what? Tubus. Now a grasshopper respires. A grasshopper respires by the means of its lungs, book, gills, antenna. The answer is trachea tubes. You understand? Trachea what? Tubes. That's the answer. So I think that's what we'll be stopping in this class because of our time. So I'll allow you guys to say something. Maybe this will be our last class. And Elizabeth and Aliu, I would like you guys to say something about the class so far and what you're wishing yourself. Just make a wish and also tell me what you'll be studying and let me just get to know you people more. As much as you are here to teach, I want to also know you people. You understand? And yes, the questions will be sent to the group. I will do that now. I will do that. I'll do that, Ali. So I've asked you guys to unmute so you can speak. You can speak and tell me your name, where you're from, what you've gained from the classes so far, what you want to study in the university, the course that you want to study, the grade that you want to score, and then, just make a wish and God will help us. So I've asked Elizabeth to unmute. I've asked Aliyu to unmute. Say, I want you guys to say something before I end this space. You understand? I don't just want to end. I guess this is my last class with you all. You might not see me again to teach you. So I've asked you guys to unmute. So say something. I want to hear your voices. I don't want to see you type again. So just say.
Good afternoon, sir.
Yeah, Aliyu, how are you doing?
I'm fine, thanks, sir. My name is Rekia Aliu.
Can you increase your voice a
And
little bit? I can't hear you.
okay, I said my name is Rekia Aliu.
Okay.
Yes, and I would like to study nursing.
Wow. Which university are you planning to study nursing?
Ahmadu Bello University, Zaria.
Okay, that means you are from Zaria.
The class is very educational because there are certain things I didn't know back then, just studying my biology past questions, but now I'm able to know them and I'm able to get a clue on what is going to come out.
Oh, wow. Wow.
Yes, sir.
So that means at least you are proud of yourself and you're going in the exam hall with a huge confidence that you're going to do something about it.
Yes, sir.
It's okay. Thank you so much for coming around.
All right.
I'm also happy to teach you. I'm happy to, be the one to tutor. You can see the joy in my face. I'm a final year student. I'm also an undergraduate. I'll be writing my final exams next month. So
Yes, sir.
I'm happy to be here. I'm happy to teach you guys. It feels
Thank you,
so
sir.
so glad to be here. It's okay. Thank you. And
Yes,
I
sir.
wish you the best. I will always pray for you people. I wish you guys the best. My joy is that at the end of this class, you don't just stop here. You go ahead to achieve whatever you've set out your mind to achieve. And I believe God will help you.
Yes, sir.
It's okay. Okay,
Thank you,
Elizabeth
sir.
says she's in a noisy place. That means we can't really hear you. Okay, okay. I just wish I would have said something. I just wanted to hear your voice as I heard that of Ali. You understand? But it's okay. It's okay. I believe that we've done justice to a lot of things. So, and I'll be ending the space right now. I'll be ending the class. Elizabeth didn't say anything because she's in a noisy place. So, but we'll be going and thank you so